Aspen-Grove-Farm is a 6-acre berry farm. 5 acres of that is the honeyberries or haskellps, the additional acre and multiple other different kinds of berries. We're the largest berry farm in the state of Montana. We've worked to establish the infrastructure that we knew we were going to need. This year we anticipated 17,000 pounds of honeyberries would come off of our field. Unfortunately, things didn't go exactly as planned. We had some unfortunate experiences which led to the failure of our storage capabilities. I was very grateful and blessed with a lot of people. The community rallied around us.
Western Montana Growers Co-ops, came down and picked up berries and kept them in their freezer. The school was fabulous. They were so nice. So we had like 10 to 12 boxes at one friend's house. I think Cliff Reed Trucking even had a box of berries in their freezer. I had some in my freezer. We took some to the kitchen, and then of course the church.
Unfortunately, there still wasn't enough room for that much fruit, and we ended up taking several thousand pounds of fruit to the dump as it rotted and as we lost it. And we also were forced to abandon 10 rows of the field because of the inability to put the fruit anywhere. Because we are a young farm, because this was our first harvest year, we don't have the funds or the means to absorb such a substantial loss. I had worked so hard. It was my dream. It was also my saving story, my rescue story. I was born and raised in a polygamous fundamentalist Mormon cult. It is the only thing that I ever knew. I had always wanted to be a farmer. I had begged my husband to let me be a farmer, but he had always said no. I had been reading about honeyberries for a while, so I already was aware of what they were, but I'd never tasted them. Well, one day he heard about them. So he said, all right, I'm going to give you permission to be a farmer and you're going to grow these honeyberries. So I started researching everything that I could. I started taking classes through the local extension office, and I was invited to go to the field day at the Western Ag Research Center where they were experimenting with honeyberries. And it was there that I tasted one for the first time. The second I tasted it, I say it was love at first bite. I fell in love with them. In the middle of growing that summer, he commanded me to participate in him getting another wife. And I knew I had to get out. During this time, I had met Roger and Valerie. My then husband, he started trying to take the farm from me. And I called Valerie, who I didn't really know that well yet, and I said, he's taking everything from me. I'm not gonna have anything unless I do something. I have to have something to start over.
One day she decided she needed to be free. And she called me and she says, I'm ready, Val.
She said, okay, I'll come help you. And about a half hour later, 8 big trucks pulled up the driveway of men I'd never met in my life. And they loaded 1,000 plants in the back of their pickup trucks and drove them away.
Eventually, all these plants got planted in the field, and neither one of us had to do the work because God is good.
The farm became mine. And so it was my freedom story, and it was me building my own identity, and it was me becoming part of a community outside of the walls of a cult. I feel called and led to be able to help other women, to know that they're safe, that they're protected, that they're surrounded by people who are there to support them and love them.
Our hope and prayer is that eventually this farm will be a place where people who come from bad situations will have a place to work and heal and feel that joy. Anybody who chooses to walk this journey with Melissa and this farm and where it's going is going to be a part of a really big picture. And I encourage anyone who wants to know more, to be part of this farm, to reach out.
I'm Melissa Allred, and I am the owner of Aspen Grove Berry Farm in Corvallis, Montana.